Hello everyone, welcome to Gypsy Jazz Fridays episode 21, and in this episode we're gonna take a look at some improv ideas for the song Avalon. I recently uploaded a video about how to play rhythm for this song in my Christian Rhythms workout series. Go check it out so you can learn the chords and learn some neat tricks to play Avalon with inversions as a rhythm player, but this video is about what you could do as a solo player. And as usual, I'm gonna take you to one chorus, give you some nice ideas, some nice licks that you can practice as is, but you could also try to vary them, and I will give you several ways of doing that. So let's just get started with the first 8 bars, 4 bars C7 to 4 bars of F. The first 4 bars start with a descending bebop scale for C7, and a diminished arpeggio up, and it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. And the phrase continues on the F part. Let's look at that immediately. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. So the complete phrase C7 to F. 1, 2, 3, 4. A couple of really handy principles. The bebop scale down. This is one of my favorite fingerings, starting with my 3rd finger on the root, or actually I'm thinking about my 1st finger on the 7 of C7, which is a B flat. So there's this awkward slide with the 4th finger, but you can get used to that easily, and this is just a very handy place to play the bebop scale. Up with a diminished arpeggio. And now we get this really typical gypsy jazz phrase for F6. So that part down, everybody plays that. I got it from Stochelo, but that scale up, I call that the Paulus Schaefer major scale. It's super easy because the fingering is 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, and then again 1, 2, 4, but a fret higher, and now chromatically. So 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, fret higher, 1, 2, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, it's not really a major scale, there's some chromaticism, but it's super easy to play, and Paulus Schaefer uses that a lot, so I call it the Paulus Schaefer major scale. Very easy to vary that major scale by repeating some patterns. For example, so we're just repeating a 3-note pattern on a string. Play this again. Play that again. Of course, you could also play this scale downwards. So what else could you do? You could just make an idea just playing that bebop scale down. So now I played that Paulus Schaefer scale up. And then the first part down. So that's what I mean with varying. It's just taking the elements from that phrase and shifting it around or leaving something out or repeating something. So let me play this phrase on the backing track. You can find the backing track on my channel. There's a link to that backing track in the description. Let me do it again and now just improvise with these elements. So I'm not going to play something different. I'm going to still use these ingredients, bebop scale, dimarpeggio, tocolo lick down and the Paulo Schaefer scale up, but I might scramble the order. Let me do a version where I play less notes, where I just play some of the ideas and maybe put some rests in there. Stuff like that. And you don't have to be super creative to do it. It's more a matter of experimenting. Let's go to the next phrase, which is again 4 bars of C7 to 4 bars of F. By the way, if you want to download these steps, they are all available at my Patreon and you can download them in PDF form, of course, with many other PDFs from other lessons. So these first 4 bars sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. So in this phrase, I'm going for a G minor to C7 sound by playing this B flat major 7 arpeggio. And B flat major 7 arpeggio is something that fits really nicely over G minor. Now you might say G minor, there is no G minor. And that is correct, but anytime you have a dominant chord, like C7 or D7 or F7, you can always think the 2 chord that would go with that dominant chord. And if you have trouble figuring that chord out, it's just the 5th higher, the minor 7. So let's say the chord is F7, you go a 5th higher, which is a C, so then the 2 chord would be C minor 7. So when there's F7, you could also think C minor 7, and for C minor 7, you can play E flat major 7. Now, if you've never heard about this before, that's a lot to remember. You could also just learn this phrase and then you will play this idea automatically. So we start with this B flat major 7 arpeggio up. Now we go to a C7 bebop scale idea again. To an altered sound. And then we're on the 4 bars of F. So let's do those immediately. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. So this starts with a Burelli phrase I learned a long time ago, and it's one of my favorite major phrases, major 7 phrases, which is this one. Just try it out, it's very easy, it's very convenient, both for the picking and the left hand. So we have some notes leading up to that. And our resolution. So you could end there on the 6, or I put one note after it, the 5. So the complete phrase with the C7 part before it would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's play that idea on the backing track. Of course, I could actually play it twice because it's C7 to F twice, right? But to hear it in context, let's, for the first C7 to F, let's play that first phrase and then I'm going to play this phrase. Let's do it again, and now I'm going to improvise with all the elements. So in this phrase, for example, we have the B flat major 7 arpeggio. But of course I could play that also from high to low. We have the bebop scale idea. And we have this ready thing. So let me just improvise a little bit with those elements. Let's see what comes up. And also for the first 8 bars, I'll improvise with that first lick. Let's do it again and do something else. The possibilities are limitless almost, especially once you start altering the rhythms and repeating stuff, leaving stuff out. Of course, that's your job. Now, the last bar didn't play, but that's because it's mostly part of the next part, which is D7, but it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So let's remember that and take that to the next part. So this is 4 bars D7 to 4 bars of G minor, and the first 4 bars sound like this with the last bar from the previous section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. One, two, three, four. So what's happening here? It starts with these octaves. It's just nice to play some octaves to get away from playing those single line notes. And this one actually just goes to the root, D7, right? Which might not be the nicest thing to do, but with octaves, I think you can get away with it because it's just so powerful. Now we have this chord, which is D7 flat 9, nice voicing. That's a phrase based on the Phrygian dominant scale. I never think about like those kind of scale names, but just for people that want to know. But just a nice lick that I memorized. Now we're on G minor, the next 4 bars. Let's take a look at those. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. So the complete 8 bars sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So for these 4 bars, that's basically B flat major 7, which sounds nice on G minor, right? I already discussed that. That's one of my favorite things to do. Start on the 9 of a minor chord and play like that without picking. You could also pick it, but that's a different sound. It has something special. This is a skill pattern I like to play on a minor chord when I'm with my first finger around the root, right? So here's the root of B flat minor. Ends on that low 6. And yeah, that's it. So we could improvise with this phrase very easily, the same way as we did with the other phrases. Let me play this on the backing track with, of course, the other phrases before it, but I might improvise with those. I was improvising immediately with this phrase because I forgot to play the octaves. And then I found another solution by changing the rhythms. But that's the way you should do it. So let's do it again. play something completely different. Let's take a look at the last 8 bars. So here we have a couple of cool chords, or basically it's one chord, but I shifted. So it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first thing to notice is that before a chord that's on the beat, so for instance the second chord and the second and third chord in the second bar, I play a short muted upstroke. So you get, so not the first chord because it's an offbeat. It gives a little extra attitude. Now the rhythms, they are free, you could do anything you want. Right? Or whatever you can come up with. It's basically one chord, F7-9 to D7-9. And now you might say F7-9, but the chord is F6. Why are you playing a dominant chord? But this chord is so powerful. And you can use that on the 1 chord in any tune. But this tune is in F, so... And you can get away with it. It gives kind of a bluesy flavor. It's just a cool sound. It just works great on a guitar, especially a gypsy jazz guitar, but even archtop. And then the final 4 bars. This is a standard Gypsy Jazz 2-5-1 lick, which you really should know because, I mean, this is something that every Gypsy Jazz player plays in variations, but here's a basic version. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. A lot of the time, people would start this phrase on the second note, so then the first note would just be a rest, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this part is a real Django thing. It's where you play F major 7, and then you play a diminished chord, a D flat diminished, or E diminished, back to F. Very jazz, very gypsy, very Django. There will be another variation. So the complete 8 bars would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. To end this video, let me play 2 choruses. And I'm just gonna use the material in these phrases, but not exactly like I have written it down. I mean, that's actually much more difficult because then it's more like a classical piece, but I'm gonna improvise with the elements. And the second chorus, I might throw in some other ideas to see how they mix with other things. But keep in mind, I'm doing the same thing. I just have these ingredients, these phrases, these, I don't wanna say preconceived, but yeah, it's preconceived ideas that I just match with each other like puzzle pieces. Here we go. I kind of lost what I was doing and I went into lots of other stuff trying to get back to the phrases. But the point is that this is the way you build up your vocabulary, by learning these licks or phrases and then start splicing them up and looking at those phrases in smaller and smaller blocks until you can play something that sounds completely spontaneous, even though it is based on learned phrases. And you can go back through my previous episodes in Gypsy Jazz Fridays and you will see that that is the approach I always take, both when teaching and playing. So that's it for this lesson. If you want to download these PDFs, you can go to my Patreon. If you like this video, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!